spectacular, guys. Look at that.
Oh my god. Oh wow, there's a viewing deck. Oh dear.
It's really epic, guys. So worth driving 3 hours, 2.5 hours to this place. Hello guys. Welcome back to another hiking adventure with Sonia and Deepak on Forever Hum.
Today we are in the Williamette National Forest. So we're doing the Sahali Falls, Kusha Falls and the Blue Pool Trail.
It's one of the most popular trails in this Williamette National Forest area, and we're really excited to do this. So without wasting any more time, let's get started.
So we are going to start off at the Sahali Falls trailhead, which is where the entire trail starts, and then we're going to descend to Kusha Falls, which is going to be our next stop, and at the end Tamolich Falls or the Blue Pool. So starting off the trail with the Sahali Falls overlook. Oh my god, look at that. That is amazing.
And that guy there is at an epic spot.
So that was an amazing sight right in the beginning. I think that should give us enough motivation to complete the entire hike. So this hike is about 9.5, around 10 miles with very meager elevation gain. I hope that it's not going to be that difficult. And what I'm excited more about is the fact that we'll be walking along the creek or the river, the McKenzie River. Really excited to finish this hike.
It's mostly a flat trail, and you're going to get water along the trail, so definitely our kind of trail.
So a little background, the Blue Pool is actually one of the most popular destinations in this Williamette area. So people around from Bend or Eugene, they usually come here because it's kind of close to them, not so much for Portlanders like us. So we drove about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours to here just to visit that Blue Pool, because we've heard so much about the blueness of the pool. So we really wanted to check it out. So as you start about 0.1 mile in, you get to see another view of this Sahali Falls. Oh, the mighty Sahali Falls. Does the name Sahali Falls ring a bell to you?
Yeah, it's the second Sahali Falls we visited this season.
Correct. The first one that we visited was close to Mount Hood Wilderness, which is part of the Umbrella Falls trail that we recently did.
But we barely saw that Sahali Falls.
Yeah.
So really grateful for this one.
Absolutely. The one close to these Umbrella Falls or the Mount Hood was kind of obscured by trees and branches, so we couldn't really get a clear picture of how the fall was.
If you haven't checked that video out, please do. A bit of a history about this trail and about this area in general. These two falls, the Sahali Falls, which we already saw, and the Kusha Falls, which will come further along the trail, have been formed due to volcanoes. So volcanic eruption took place about 1600, I think 1500, 1600 years ago, and these two falls are a result of that. Also, the history behind the Blue Pool, the Tamolich Pool, which we'll see towards the end of this trail, is also very fascinating. Did you know that the temperature of the water in the Tamolich Pool is about 37 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit? So cold, right? And that's because the water in the pool seeps in from underground. Most of the Tamolich Falls, which is a part of the McKenzie River, is covered by the lava beds. And it's only in spring and summer season that you see a part of this falls. Otherwise, most of the Tamolich Falls is actually dry falls. Interesting, right? And the reason it's so blue and it's so cold is because the water is coming from underground.
We're doing the waterfall trail. So that was the part that we crossed the McKenzie River, and throughout the rest of this trail we will stay on this side of the river. One point to notice is that the parking lot kind of gets full near the Sahali Falls trailhead, so you might have tough time finding a parking spot. But we got lucky. We saw a person who was getting out of the parking lot right the very instant we got there.
Spectacular water. I cannot.
That was hissing sound. Oh my god. So blue.
I wanted to stress spectacular and then I was like,
It became a snake.
spectacular guys, look at that. Last time we saw this watercolor was in Spirit Falls.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely reminds me of that. So we are at the backside of, I believe it's the Kusha Falls. So the water is going down the hill and I can see a couple of people over there. We're back to Sahali Falls again.
We don't mind looking at Sahali Falls twice.
The other side of the Sahali Falls. Isn't that pretty? Oh, look at that. It just feels so cold when you hit the river.
It's really epic guys, so worth driving 3 hours, 2.5 hours to this place.
So somewhere along the way, we found this. So guys, this is the Kusha Falls.
Okay guys, so what's a better lunch spot than Kusha Falls in your view? And even though we had a pretty complicated setup, which I'm going to show you, but this is what we ended up making out of it. An open sandwich.
Yum!
Look at that setup. We have all the different ingredients and we have some bread in here. And we assembled it to form this yummy avocado bean sandwich on a sourdough.
By the way, that's, if you're wondering, that's mushroom on top.
Yeah, mushroom, tomatoes, avocado and cannellini beans mashed together. Deepak having a mouthful and loving it. He couldn't wait for me to open my GoPro and shoot. Just started eating right away.
There it is. I guess we're doing the McKenzie River Trail. Now we're walking alongside the Carmen Reservoir, and that is where it is. The McKenzie River flowing into this reservoir. How is the water so blue and green? Wow, this bridge is amazing. Kind of reminds me of the Ramona Falls hike. They have similar bridges there, made out of one log. So we're already almost 3 miles in. So the part after the Kusha Falls to the Blue Pool is kind of silent, as in I don't see any crowd here. And so it's been kind of lonely. And there's supposed to be the McKenzie River flowing alongside this trail, but there isn't. And I can't hear the water flow at all. So it is a little silent. Of course, you do hear the sound once in a while of the wind gushing through, and maybe birds here and there. Of course, you hear Soniya shouting at me once in a while.
Guys, I have invented a song to keep away the bears. Don't come bear because we are here. Don't come bear because we are here.
This is supposed to be the McKenzie River right here, but it's empty. Oh my god, this trail is so boring.
This part of the trail.
Yeah, sorry, this part of the trail I meant. Finally, after a long boring walk, I think we are close to the Blue Pool. Blue Pool to the left. That is it, guys. The Blue Pool.
Guys, no photo, no video of Blue Pool that we have seen till now can do justice to what we are seeing with bare eyes right now. Because I already know this information, let me ask Deepak. Do you think Blue Pool right in the center, where it's extremely blue, how deep it is? Like, do you think it's shallow or is it really deep?
It looks shallow.
Exactly, it looks deceptively shallow, guys. I have read online that the Blue Pool is as deep as about 30 feet in the middle.
Wow.
That's really unbelievable, right? People guess that the depth would be around 5 feet or so because you can almost see the base, but that's just because it's so clear. But otherwise it is pretty deep, and diving from this point where Deepak is standing is not recommended.
Not that I was going to.
I've read that there have been incidents where people have died doing cliff jumping into Blue Pool. So guys, like you can see, there is no definitive origin of this pool. This water in the pool is coming from underground. And the reason it's so blue is because it's so clear. There is no sediments and there are no microorganisms here. Because all this water has been filtered by the lava bedrock on which it sits. People are not swimming for a long time in the pool because it's so cold.
You think?
Yes. You can't really survive the temperature of the water for long. See, people just jump in and then they run towards the shore.
So guys, we just crossed the Carmen Reservoir and now we are heading back to the parking lot. So we're going to go on the waterfall trail this time. See the Kusha and Sahali Falls from the other side of the McKenzie River. So that's the Carmen Reservoir right there. So there's the reservoir, and on this side is the McKenzie River. I'm glad we came on this trail because now we get to see the Kusha Falls from a different look. Oh wow, there's a viewing deck. Oh dear, this is amazing. This is a much better view. Back at the Sahali Falls. Finally made it to the parking lot of Sahali Falls. Wow! So we made it in about 10.5 miles. We took a different route at the end, and I think that is worth taking.
Taking a different trail, the waterfalls trail, on the way back, totally worth it. Because then I wasn't looking at my watch and thinking when this trail is gonna end.
So that was the end of this trail and probably the end of the video. But before we go, we just want to point out one thing, that it's better and probably even sensible to do Blue Pool as a separate hike rather than do it as part of this big trail, because a large portion of it kind of gets boring and tiring.
Yeah, if you do the Blue Pool separately, then you kind of have the energy to go down to the Blue Pool and take a swim or dip your feet or whatever. Because we had to, come back. We didn't really have the time to take this detour down to the Blue Pool.
We so wanted to, but we couldn't. Also, if you want to see the blue color of Blue Pool, make sure that you arrive at least in midday, before 2 or 3 p.m. It would be ideal. And before you guys leave, don't forget to like this video, share this with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, because we bring to you the beauty of Oregon through hiking, and we want to continue doing that as long as you are with us. See you next time.